really frightening because it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Fallen trees on homes and caved-in fences has become a common sight in Missoula.
Crews are working as quickly as they can and as diligently as they can, but the impacts of this storm were significant and wide.
Trees down, traffic slow, businesses closed, and property damaged.
Montana, the Big Sky State. A land of endless horizons, snow-capped peaks, and open plains that stretch farther than the eye can see. It's the dream backdrop for anyone craving peace, freedom, and fresh air. But behind that postcard beauty, there's another side. A side that's cold, isolated, and tougher than most outsiders imagine. Many who move to Montana for the dream of wide-open living soon realize that reality here can be brutally different. Today, we're diving deep into why people don't want to live in Montana. The weather, the remoteness, the economy, and the quiet struggles that make this state one of the hardest places to actually call home. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover what really hides beneath Montana's big, beautiful sky. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we explore what it's really like to live across America, the beauty, the challenges, and the truth behind every state's reputation. And in today's video, we're going to talk about a place that's as breathtaking as it is unforgiving, Montana. So before you pack your bags and chase that cowboy movie dream, let's talk about why so many people visit this state, but don't stay for long. 1. The harsh, unforgiving winters. If you've never lived through a true Montana winter, it's hard to imagine what it's really like. This isn't just cold. It's Montana cold. Temperatures drop well below zero for weeks. Snow piles up feet high. And when the wind howls across the open plains, it cuts right through every layer of clothing you've got. For months, roads turn slick and icy. Driving becomes dangerous. And those long, beautiful scenic highways. They can quickly turn into isolation traps when storms roll in. Many newcomers arrive from warmer states thinking they'll love the snow. But after a few winters of shoveling, frozen pipes, and months without seeing green grass, that romance fades fast. In Montana, winter doesn't ask for your patience, it demands your respect. 2. The cost of isolation. Montana is the fourth largest state in America, but one of the least populated. That means wide open space, yes, but it also means distance. The next town might be an hour away. The nearest hospital? Maybe 2. And a trip to a big store or airport can turn into an all-day journey. For people used to having everything nearby, groceries, restaurants, schools, entertainment, this level of isolation can be jarring. There's no corner cafe down the street, no Uber rides 5 minutes away, and definitely no 24-hour delivery service. For families, especially with kids, the lack of nearby options can wear thin. And for older residents, that distance to medical care can literally be a life-or-death challenge. In Montana, space is abundant, but convenience is rare. 3. The sky-high cost of housing. Here's something that surprises a lot of people: Montana isn't cheap anymore. Over the past decade, housing prices have skyrocketed. Small towns that once had affordable homes are now flooded with out-of-state buyers and remote workers driving prices through the roof. Locals struggle to compete. Rental prices in some areas have doubled. And many born and raised Montanans are being priced out of their own communities. That peaceful log cabin in the woods? It now comes with a 6-figure mortgage and limited access to basic utilities. So while people think Montana is rural and affordable, the truth is, for many, it's becoming out of reach. 4. Limited job opportunities. Unless you work remotely, finding stable, well-paying jobs in Montana can be tough. The state's economy leans heavily on agriculture, tourism, and natural resources, industries that are seasonal and unpredictable. In smaller towns, job listings can feel almost non-existent. And even in the cities, wages often lag behind the national average. That's a major reason why so many young people leave after high school or college. They love their home state, but they can't build a future in it. So they head to places like Colorado, Washington, or Texas, chasing better opportunities. It's one of Montana's most painful paradoxes. The state needs young people to thrive, but it doesn't offer enough to make them stay. 5. The strain of rural living. Montana living looks peaceful on Instagram, but real life here can be exhausting. Long drives just to get groceries. Constant maintenance on your property because the weather never rests. And if something breaks, your car, your well pump, your heater, it's not like there's a repair service right down the street. You learn to fix things yourself. You plan every errand days in advance. You keep backup supplies because once a storm hits, you might be snowed in for a week. It's a lifestyle that requires self-reliance and resilience. And while some people thrive in that environment, others find it isolating and stressful. It's not the easy, slow-paced life people imagine, it's a life of constant preparation. 6. The extreme weather beyond winter. It's not just the snow that tests people in Montana. Spring brings floods. Summer brings wildfires, droughts, and smoke-filled skies. And fall. That's when the temperatures swing so fast your thermostat can't keep up. Wildfire season has become especially dangerous. Every year, smoke fills the air for weeks, turning those bright blue skies into a gray haze. People with asthma or breathing issues struggle. And when the fires get close, evacuation isn't always easy when you live miles from the nearest town. Nature in Montana is stunning, but it's also unpredictable and, at times, unforgiving. 7. Lack of healthcare and essential services. For such a massive state, Montana has surprisingly few hospitals and clinics. In rural areas, residents often have to drive hours for specialized care, sometimes across state lines. When emergencies happen, time becomes your greatest enemy. Ambulances take longer. Medical flights are expensive. And smaller hospitals often lack the staff or equipment to handle serious cases. For families, especially with young children or elderly members, that lack of access can be terrifying. It's one of those hidden realities that people only truly understand once they move here. 8. Limited social and cultural opportunities. Montana isn't exactly known for its nightlife or cultural scene. Outside of a few larger towns like Missoula or Bozeman, there's not a lot going on after sunset. Concerts, big restaurants, art galleries, they're rare and far apart. Many communities are small, traditional, and quiet. And for newcomers, especially those from big cities, that can lead to culture shock and loneliness. People often say Montana feels like stepping back in time, and that's true, for better and for worse. If you crave social energy, diversity, or fast-paced life, you might find yourself counting the days until you can visit somewhere more connected. 9. Wildlife and the reality of living close to nature. Living in Montana means living with nature, and sometimes, nature gets a little too close. Bears, mountain lions, and moose aren't zoo attractions here, they're neighbors. It's not uncommon to see one wandering near your yard or crossing the road. You can't leave garbage outside overnight. You can't hike without caution. And if you're in rural areas, even your pets and livestock can be at risk. For some, that's part of the adventure. For others, it's nerve-wracking. It's a constant reminder that out here, humans don't run the show, nature does. 10. The Small Town Challenge. Small towns in Montana are tight-knit, and that can be both a blessing and a curse. Everyone knows everyone, which creates a strong sense of community, but also means privacy can be hard to find. For newcomers, it can take years to truly be accepted. Locals are friendly, but they're also protective of their way of life. And if you're coming in from out of state, especially from the coast, you may feel that quiet tension. There's also limited diversity, both cultural and political. So if you don't fit the mold, it can sometimes feel like you're living on the outside looking in. 11. Infrastructure and internet limitations. In a world that runs on connectivity, Montana is still catching up. Many rural areas have slow or unreliable internet. Cell service can vanish for miles at a time. That makes remote work, which many people hoped would let them live here, a real challenge. Even something as simple as streaming a movie or uploading a file can test your patience. And because roads and utilities are spread so thin, maintenance takes time. When power goes out in a snowstorm, it might not come back for hours, or even days. It's the price you pay for space and scenery, but it's a steep one for those who depend on modern convenience. 12. The psychological toll of isolation. This is something that doesn't get talked about enough. Montana's beauty comes with silence, and sometimes, that silence gets heavy. Long winters, short days, and limited social contact can lead to feelings of depression or cabin fever. For people moving from lively cities, that emptiness can hit hard. You wake up, see nothing but snow and sky, and realize the nearest neighbor is miles away. At first, it feels peaceful. Then, slowly, it starts to feel lonely. Montana teaches solitude, but solitude isn't for everyone. 13. Rising cost of living. While wages stay relatively low, the cost of living, especially housing, gas, and groceries, continues to climb. Transportation costs are higher because everything has to travel long distances to reach stores. Utility bills spike in winter. And with tourism booming, prices in popular towns soar each year. So that simple, affordable life many people expect. It's getting harder to find. 14. The fire versus freeze dilemma. In Montana, you basically get two major seasons, freezing or burning. Half the year, you're fighting the cold, the other half, you're watching for smoke and fire warnings. The land is wild and raw, and while that's what makes it beautiful, it's also what makes it unpredictable. Nature runs the schedule, not you. 15. Why people leave. After a few years, many residents reach a crossroads. They love the space, the peace, the mountain views. But they miss convenience, stability, and warmth, literally and figuratively. They move to states like Idaho or Washington, places that offer a similar landscape, but a bit more comfort and infrastructure. Montana, for all its charm, just demands too much from people who aren't ready to live by its rules. 16. The people who stay. But let's be fair, not everyone leaves. Those who stay in Montana are a different breed. They're tough, resourceful, independent. They don't just live with nature, they live in rhythm with it. They know the winters, they respect the land, and they find beauty in the challenges. For them, Montana isn't a struggle, it's a way of life. But for the average newcomer, that level of grit doesn't come easy. So, why don't people want to live in Montana? Because for all its breathtaking beauty, it's not an easy place to survive. The winters are brutal. The distances are vast. The jobs are scarce. And the isolation, it's real. Montana is a test of endurance disguised as paradise. It's a place that rewards toughness and punishes comfort. A place that gives you everything, if you're willing to give up a lot in return. It's not for everyone. But for the ones who stay, it's home in the truest sense of the word. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. Would you live in Montana? Or do you think it's too remote, too cold, or too tough to handle? Don't forget to subscribe for more honest looks at life across America. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep exploring what makes every corner of this country unique.